YouTube doesn't think you deserve to know when new videos get uploaded. Show them they're not the boss of you by smashing that bell icon, so you can be notified when your favorite content creators are begging for your attention. Previously on Supergirl, our heroine battled a villain whose favorite method of antagonism was mean girl taunts so unoriginal a Regina George cosplayer would think they were beneath her. This week, adventures in babysitting. Truly, this show is superhero adventure at the height of sophistication. Our episode begins with Supergirl noticing that she's being spied on by a drone. She then has trouble catching it even though it's only propelled by, well, propellers. She had no trouble catching a jet airliner in the pilot, but a drone, that's the tough one. Oh, but it's a very special, super advanced drone. They don't say how, and it looks like every other drone you've ever seen, but Henshaw says he'll get to the bottom of this, and I guess we just have to take his word for it.
You can trust him, Kara.
Say what? Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't the very last episode end with the two of you being suspicious of Henshaw because he may have had something to do with your father's death? We're just forgetting about that now? Forgive me, writers, but if you have this much trouble maintaining continuity from one episode to the next, then maybe you shouldn't be doing serialized stories. So just like that, for no reason whatsoever, Alex is insisting that they can trust Henshaw even though the previous episode ended with them thinking that they couldn't. Sure, why not? Makes about as much sense as anything else on this show. Like Cat Grant beating out Lois Lane for some kind of award for women in media. Were the panel of judges just that impressed with the hit piece she wrote on Supergirl a few episodes back, or were there threats of physical violence involved? And don't act like Kat's above doing something like that. It seems very much in character for her, especially after learning how her nanny fell victim to a mysterious accident.
Ella broke her leg storing my summer sandals.
Because stuffing footwear in a closet involves tons of arduous labor? How many sandals does this woman have? Or did she give Ella a little shove down the stairs in a moment of boredom just to amuse herself? Criticize me all you want, but I'm not convinced that wouldn't be in character for Kat either.
I didn't know that she could smile if it wasn't based on cruelty to others.
Without bothering to think this through first, Kara offers to watch Kat's son Carter so Kat can go to Metropolis and accept this award, leaving Kat quite impressed. Not for the simple act of generosity, mind you, but because she assumes Kara's only doing this to hold it against her so Kat will owe her one in the future. And she's never been prouder. Well done, flunky. I had my doubts for a while, but we'll burn that pesky conscience out of you yet. So, does Carter have any special needs or allergies or... just make sure he doesn't drink bleach out of the bottle and the rest will take care of itself.
He wouldn't be safer with Supergirl. Oh, now it's just annoying.
Welcome to my world, Kat. With a temporary nanny acquired, Kat jets off for Metropolis to rub her award in Lois Lane's face. But since she needs someone to run things while she's gone, she puts James in charge of the digital marketing department. In case you'd forgotten, James is a photographer. How this qualifies him to run a department, digital marketing or otherwise, I have no earthly clue. But since we're now 5 episodes in, and thus far we've seen James take exactly 0 photographs, I guess the writers thought he needed to start doing something aside from making googly eyes at Kara in every scene. Not shockingly, he's feeling a bit overwhelmed.
How does Kat do it?
Well, for starters, she's qualified for the job, whereas your biggest claim to fame is taking the first picture of Superman, which you admitted he actually posed for. So your qualifications for anything, much less running a marketing department, seem slim to nil. So, yeah, James getting this job is kind of ridiculous. Which sadly means it fits right in with everything else that's going on here. For example, Kara saving people from a bomb explosion and then putting out the fire with her super breath when we clearly saw in episode 2 that her trying to put out a fire that way only caused the fire to spread. But now suddenly it doesn't? Why? Explanations about that will have to wait, unfortunately, as Alex has gotten them a lead and connected this attack to the drone from earlier by analyzing the bomb fragments. And this raises some questions about what Alex's job at the DEO actually is. For those of you keeping track, in these first 5 episodes alone, Alex has been an alien genetics expert, skilled in metallurgical analysis, a combat-qualified field agent, and now an explosive ordnance technician. Good God, normally you'd need a clothing store montage for a character to wear as many hats as she does. And I guess we should also add relationship guru to that list because she makes sure to take time out of her search for this mad bomber to dish with her sister about cute guys. Because the danger of an ongoing terrorist threat means nothing when compared to Kara not having a boyfriend, am I right, ladies?
You spent more time in the friend zone than the phantom zone.
But at some point, Kara remembers that she has more pressing matters to attend to than her lack of a love life and stopping a madman with easy access to high explosives. Babysitting! She's late picking up Kat's son from school. Not that he seems to mind, as he's a quiet, introverted little tyke. The only thing capable of bringing him out of his shell being... oh, take a wild guess.
Supergirl.
And here's where things get downright creepy. Kara seems very excited about this underage boy who probably hasn't even been visited by the puberty fairy yet having the hots for Supergirl. A little too excited if you ask me. I mean, look at her. Look at her face. She's almost giddy about this. The kid can't be more than 12, but somehow him wanting to be the kryptonite to Supergirl's lonely heart just fills Kara to the brim with girlish glee.
Do you think she's pretty?
Can we get an adult over here, please? One that's definitely not a pedophile, maybe?
Last week she stopped Reactron. Superman never did that.
Well, I bet Superman never let Reactron escape twice in one episode due to sheer incompetence either, so let's just call it a draw. And yeah, I said twice. She captured Reactron at the end of episode 3 after letting him escape in their first encounter. But since Livewire was referred to as the DEO's first human prisoner in episode 4, the only plausible explanation is that after capturing Reactron, Supergirl let him escape yet again. Until such time as the show gives us an official explanation for why the DEO does not have Reactron locked up, that's my headcanon, and I'm sticking to it. Also, Superman doesn't like underage boys. So he wins. Maxwell Lord's technology showed up in both the bomb and the drone, so Alex and Henshaw pay him a visit under the cover of being FBI agents. Then Lord and Alex talk science for a bit, which wouldn't seem worth mentioning if not for the revelation that Alex appears to have more hats than Cat Grant has summer sandals.
You like trains, Agent Danvers?
No, physics.
Also, Alex tries to talk up Supergirl, because of course she does. But since Lord didn't get the memo stating that every character on this show has to instantly fall in love with Supergirl or be branded a villain, he's not impressed. It's also how you know he's a villain. As if his last name wasn't a dead giveaway.
Supergirl's just a glorified fireman.
Glorified? If you say so, Max. The mystery bomber drops off a little present in the lab downstairs, and since neither tech genius Maxwell Lord nor newly minted bomb expert Alex are able to disarm it, Supergirl has to ditch Carter with Wynn and come to the rescue. For some unknown reason, it doesn't immediately occur to her to just throw the bomb into space or something, so she barely gets it out of the city in time before it blows and knocks her out for a while. She wakes up back at DEO headquarters, where Henshaw has identified our mad bomber as a disgruntled former employee of Maxwell Lord, whose next target will most likely be the launch of Lord's latest revolutionary technological innovation, a train. Well, as long as you've impressed Sheldon Cooper, I guess you've still accomplished something. Supergirl pulls herself off train watch when another bomb is discovered at the airport, only to quickly divert back to the train upon learning that not only is the bomber on board, but Kat's son Carter as well. Apparently the writers realized this babysitting subplot was going nowhere fast and thought they could save it by having the kid do something unbelievably stupid. Hence why we have Carter thinking Supergirl might be at the train launch and ditching his caretakers as well as any semblance of common sense to come to the launch unsupervised and sneaking onto the train in the vain, desperate hope that Supergirl might show up and decide that she's down for some statutory rape. Boy, is he in for a surprise. So Kara flies back to save the train while Alex and Henshaw rush to the airport. As does James, because his ex Lucy is there. Okay. I haven't really talked about this until now, but since it's finally become a story point, it seems I have no choice. In addition to the boring half-assed love triangle between Kara, James, and Wynn, there's also a boring half-assed love triangle between Kara, James, and Lucy, which I've been trying my best to ignore due to it committing the cardinal sin of being incredibly boring and half-assed. Needless to say, making it a part of the episode's main plot does little to change that. Long story short, Lucy and James broke up, but now Lucy wants him back, which makes Kara uncomfortable because she's been totally crushing on James, and this entire situation is an absolute snooze fest. Kara displays zero romantic interest in Wynn, James displays zero romantic interest in Lucy, until suddenly that changes because the writers wanted to drag this out longer. Meanwhile, James and Kara won't stop mooning over each other in every scene they have together. From minute one, them hooking up is portrayed as a virtual inevitability, and this is a huge problem because the whole thing hinges on the viewer wanting to see them together, but that's the last thing I want because they're just so fucking boring. There's no drama here, no romantic tension, there's no spark or energy between them. They're just two attractive people that we're supposed to want to see kiss because they're both attractive. There's literally nothing more going on than that. Which makes the extension of this triangle all the more irritating, because despite how little chemistry James and Kara have together, James and Lucy have even less. If the scenes of them discussing their relationship don't have you smashing that fast forward button, it's only because you probably dozed off before you reached it. So now James is going to be torn between Lucy and Kara. Is there an option C on the table? Because I say he shouldn't choose either of them. No wonder Kara got a new love interest in season 2. When your heroine has more chemistry with an underage boy than the guy the writers are actually shipping her with, a course correction might not be a bad idea. So James races to the airport to save Lucy from the bomb and immediately finds her safely evacuated and out of danger. Wow, that was easy. Less easy is the matter of the bomb that's about to go off. Luckily, resident bomb expert Alex is all over this.
Bomb tech's not here yet.
Wait. So, Alex is not the bomb tech? She was the one analyzing the bomb fragments from earlier, but now she's not the go-to bomb person? Someone is very confused here, and I'm not sure if it's me or the writers. But since this particular scene requires Alex to suddenly not know anything about bombs when she seemed to know a great deal about them both before and after this scene, Henshaw sends her away, uses his alien powers to defuse it, and then claims it was a dud. And since it's Henshaw's turn to hold the stupid ball this week, he later allows Alex to examine the bomb so she can quickly determine that he was fibbing. Okay, so Alex is not the bomb tech, but she's the one both analyzing bombs and taking them apart. Can the writers please make up their minds about what this woman's fucking job is? The week-to-week continuity is shaky enough already, but they can't even keep things consistent from scene to scene within the same damn episode. I'm not asking for much here, people, I'm really not. Anyway, Supergirl arrives and tells Maxwell Lord that the Mad Bomber is on the train.
No, that's impossible.
Yeah, he couldn't possibly have snuck past the one security guard who was checking tickets. Even though this 12-year-old kid just got on board without a ticket so easily it was downright silly.
You have to stop this train.
I can't. It's automated.
Because this super science-y train of the future doesn't have an off switch. So Kara isolates the bomber and finds him wearing a suicide vest. At this close range and with her super speed, she could quite easily grab the trigger from him before he could detonate it, but she tries and fails to talk him into giving up instead because, damn it, if we don't have an explosion, then we don't have a climax. Afterward, Kara figures out that the bomber was a patsy, and Lord was actually behind the whole thing as part of a diabolical plot to test Supergirl's limits. Give the man credit, it's a decent plan that worked pretty well. And it even gave him a clue as to her secret identity. This would be a pretty effective scene if they hadn't ruined it by Lord deciding to monologue the entire evil plot to her as if she were 5 years old. Unfortunately, that seems to be the age demographic this show is aimed at. No wonder CBS gave it the boot after one season. So Kat returns from Metropolis, and because Kara has to be emotionally validated by literally everyone, Carter raves to his mom about how awesome she is, even though her babysitting efforts amounted to being late to pick him up from school, being late to feed him, leaving him with Wynn while she disappeared for hours, and allowing him to board a train with a bomb on it due to horrifying negligence. And just for the record, even though Kara ditched Kat's only child, which led to his life being put in danger, she somehow does not lose her job. You figure that one out. But there is one silver lining. With Kara's colossal failure in watching Kat's son, there's no way she'll be babysitting again, so there should be no need to traumatize Kat further by revealing the ugly details of the very inappropriate attraction between Supergirl and her underage...
I'd say her legs. Definitely her legs.
Alright, let's just close this thing out before someone gets arrested. How do you rate an episode that ranges from good to boring to just plain creepy? I do not know, but I'll give it a shot. What stands out the most here is the inconsistencies in the writing, the tone, and the characters. The bomb plot itself is alright if you can disregard Alex being a bomb expert in every scene except the one where the story suddenly needs her not to be, but since I don't give out free passes for bad writing, I had a big issue with that. Also, this Kara-James-Lucy triangle has no life to it at all. I cannot stress enough how dull this whole thing is. Will James stay with Lucy, hook up with Kara? I couldn't care less either way. Scenes where he's supposed to still have feelings for Lucy feel forced and painfully awkward, but scenes that tease a James-Kara pairing are so lame and trite they're downright nauseating. And then there's the kid. I don't know why we needed a babysitting subplot. I don't know why Kara was so excited about the kid having a crush on Supergirl. I don't know why Hollywood writers always think that kids doing stupid things to advance the story is entertaining. It's not. But one thing I do know is that this is a subplot that just should not have happened. And in the end, they have Kat impart some wisdom to Kara about trying to do too much before she's ready, which is the same lesson I thought Kara learned from Kat in episode 2, but with everything else they tried to cram in here, the message just gets lost right along with any interest I might have had. If they'd cut out the terrible subplots and focused on the bomb story, they might have had something here. The twist with Maxwell Lord works, but it can't save the episode with everything else weighing it down. If you like the show, hit subscribe, leave a comment, smash that bell icon to be notified when new videos get uploaded, and other stuff just like that. Until next time, I'm Thorias. Over. Out.
You're trying to be Supergirl and Kat's assistant and a DEO agent on top of it all. At some point, even the Girl of Steel might break.
Well, that's still 3 less jobs than you have, and you're managing just fine. Maybe the real problem is that Kara sucks at multitasking.